Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all doing well. And actually, we're going to be restarting this entire little spiel right here because I have to open up Audacity where we record the podcast. Professional. Let's try this again. Hold on, I gotta do that. Mic goes to there. Maybe. Yes, there we go. Let's see what we got. Start monitor testing. Yes, beautiful. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the morning episode of Caffeinate. I'm Samuel Adams. I hope you are doing fantastic. This is the morning show on Twitch, hosted by a college kid, where I will give you a rundown of all of the major gaming news that's happened in the course of the past 24 hours, and then I exported to Twitch, obviously, to YouTube, and then I put it out there on a podcast service near you, which is obviously going to be a fantastic way to listen to it on your commute, on your job site, whenever you are laying in bed, perhaps wherever you might listen to podcast. It is going to be there available for you to ingest into your brain on a daily basis. This is obviously the first time that I've done a Monday morning episode that is somewhat normal. You know, the show has only been going for about a week and a half or so right now, whenever you're listening to this, if you are close to the time that it was actually recorded. And so I think the way that I'm going to be doing Monday shows is that I'm going to be kind of giving you a rundown of everything that happened over the course of the weekend. Obviously, there's a lot of gaming news that comes out between Monday and Friday, but over the weekend, it seems to kind of slow down a little bit, so I figured that that would be a great chance to catch up, see what we missed, etc., etc. But I do hope you guys are doing fantastic. I had a great weekend. I got a lot done. I worked on St. Patty's Day. I was working a bar crawl, so that was obviously really fun because, you know, drunk people and whatnot. But then I came home, played some games. I hope you guys had just as relaxing and enjoyable of a weekend as that. A little bit of coffee to start off the morning. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 news stories, some may say, to go over today. And I suppose we'll go ahead and jump right into them. First off, from Eurogamer, Burnout tops the charts for the first time in 13 years. Meanwhile, Kirby for Switch has the series' best launch, which is not surprising whatsoever considering just how head over heels people are for Nintendo these days. Burnout Paradise Remastered has earned the franchise its first chart top spot in over a decade. The much-missed Smash 'em Up racing series that last hit number one was Burnout Revenge back in 2005. However, Burnout's best ever week of launch sales still belongs to Burnout 3 Takedown, a fantastic title, back in 2004. Obviously, there's a little Let's Play here from Eurogamer. We're not going to be watching that whatsoever. Kirby Star Allies for Nintendo Switch, last week's other launch of note, earned Nintendo's Pink Puffball his/her question mark biggest UK debut ever. 19 Kirby games have now launched in the UK. Wait, we're not reading about Kirby. We're not reading about Kirby. Otherwise, the top 10 remains largely unchanged. See it in full down below. So, according to the releases, I suppose, in the UK, we have Burnout Paradise Remastered, Kirby Star Allies, FIFA 18, Grand Theft Auto 5. At the number 5 spot, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Then we have Super Mario Odyssey. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds takes number 7. EA Sports UFC 3 coming in behind that at number 8. Fallout 4, surprisingly. There's no DLC or anything. Kind of shocking that that one's in there. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has the number 10 spot, which I suppose makes sense because it's been exactly 1 year since the Nintendo Switch really launched and got on its feet. So with that being said, kind of understandable that we do have a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild spot in there. But it's cool to see that Burnout is doing well. Whenever I was a kid, Burnout was always the go-to racing game for me. I always enjoyed it thoroughly, just because of the way that I don't want to say the way that it was, but it was so raw. It was so action packed. It was kind of like what do you call it, a Michael Bay movie where you just go over a giant ramp and then you something explodes below you, and it's just an incredible experience to have whenever you're a kid. And to see it coming back in the form of Burnout Paradise Remastered is great. And as I said in a video a couple of weeks back on youtube.com/SamuelAdamsMedia, I really hope that this is kind of a toe in the water, so to speak, a testing of the beverage to see the temperature for the guys that are developing the next Burnout, to see if there still is public interest in a Burnout game. Obviously, whenever you take a good bit of time away and you don't make anything that has to do with the franchise, then you're kind of risking not actually having the reception that you would expect whenever the game does, in fact, start coming out. And so that's kind of what I would worry about with a game like Mercenaries, perhaps. Mercenaries is a franchise kind of similar in vein to Just Cause. It's a little bit more violent, in my opinion. Obviously, it's much more focused on the violence, and yes, even as compared to Just Cause. With that being said, I could see Mercenaries coming back, but not necessarily right out of the gate. There would have to be a lot of promotions. There would have to be a lot of publicity going around, a lot of news coverage of that in GameSpot, IGN, what have you. Probably sponsored content, to be honest, because I can't imagine that there are a ton of people that are super pumped up about having a Mercenaries game. But this kind of similar idea applies to something like Burnout. And so it's cool to see it actually coming out on top with this one, because everybody loves Burnout Paradise. And so, it's just cool to see them actually listening to what the fans want. Razm in the chat says, "Hey, Samuel, how's it going?" I'm doing fantastic, my man. I spent the entire day yesterday reorganizing the desk, only to put it back the exact way that I had it. What a waste of time. I hope you're doing well, my man. Welcome to Caffeinate. I hope you have a fantastic Monday and that this helps you get your day started, regardless of what time it is, whether it be in the afternoon or the morning. For me, it is really early in the morning. Moving along to the next story. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered listing spotted. Now, this comes to us from about 3 days ago. This actually went live a couple of hours after I did the Friday episode of Caffeinate, so it was kind of unfortunate. But PS4 and Xbox One on April 30th is supposedly what the listing says. This is written by Joe Screbbles. What a name at IGN. An Amazon listing for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered has appeared with a release date of April the 30th. As spotted by IGN Italia, listings for both Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game have been added to Amazon Italy with prices of €19.99 euros. Yeah, I think. Approximately $25 USD, £17, 31 Australian dollars. As with the listings of this kind, this may be a placeholder in case a game is announced. The listed release date would indicate an unusually small time between announcement and release. For comparison, the original Modern Warfare Remastered saw a 6-month gap after being officially revealed. If this listing proves to be true, it would seem to indicate that this will be a standalone release rather than a special edition bonus with a new Call of Duty installment, as was the case with the first remaster game. IGN has contacted Activision for comment. I don't believe they got one back. Not the first time we've been reminded of Modern Warfare 2 recently. Its famously divisive no Russian sentence was part of a reel of violent video games presented at the White House meeting last week. We were impressed with the first modern, it was fine. It came out with, I believe it was Infinite Warfare. It was bundled with the higher tier versions of the game. But that was kind of the shitty way to do it, in my opinion. I don't think they should have done that with Modern Warfare Remastered. It was good enough to live on its own. It was good enough to hang in there and really draw in a crowd, and simply, and Infinite Warfare wasn't. No one cared about Infinite Warfare. It was never going to be the game that Modern Warfare Remastered could have been, and so to bundle it in there was simply to sell copies of Infinite Warfare. I would guess that had the game not been included with the main Call of Duty game for that year, Infinite Warfare would have suffered drastically to the point that probably stockholders would have started sharing left and right because it just simply didn't perform. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of things about this posting that just don't stand out to me, or that actually do stand out to me. Let me back up, as something that signals to me this is not actually going to be happening. Obviously, the first thing is the release date of April the 30th. If you are releasing Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, there is a huge potential to market that for at least 8 months, because Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is arguably more popular in the public eye than, say, Modern Warfare was. Modern Warfare 2, when it came out, that was really one of the games that struck me. That was one of the games that I spent hundreds of hours playing, I would guess. I went through prestige after prestige after prestige, going through all of the weapons, using one-man army to change out my kit and get a whole new line of ammo to use instead of, dying and respawning with fresh ammo. It was amazing with the nukes, and the multiplayer was just the pinnacle of fast-paced online arcade-based shooters. It doesn't get better than Modern Warfare 2. It sincerely just doesn't. To see a Modern Warfare 2 Remastered listing, even though I know that it's probably going to be riddled beyond belief with microtransactions, I still get excited about it. I'm sorry, I just simply do. I loved the maps. I loved it. The Afghan map especially. Afghan was just fantastic. The map packs were great. There were so many things to love about Modern Warfare 2 Modern Warfare 2 that to get a remaster would literally be giving me my childhood back. Like, quite honestly, the ages of 11 to 13, I would say, somewhere around in there, that would bring me right back to it. Is this actually going to be happening? I would say that it's going to happen at some point or another. I think that there is such a high fan demand for this and such a high cry from the fan base to have this happen that I couldn't see Activision giving up the opportunity to make a ton of money by simply making their old game new again. Just put a fresh coat of paint on it. It's not that hard. You just copy and paste everything else, and then you just buff up the textures and stuff a little bit. Of course, I'm not a game developer. I don't know exactly how it works, porting a game from the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 over to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but With that being said, if you can make it happen, you can get a lot of cash flowing in through that fan base. Obviously, the game is going to be 10 years old next year. So I would say that we're going to be having about another year of speculation before we actually get an official announcement, but there could be some kind of teaser shown off at E3 that does confirm the existence of the project. I think that would be a very wise decision on their part, but will that actually happen? You know, it's kind of a hard call to make because there are so many different ways that can go wrong. If you announce a game too soon in advance, then you have the risk of people not caring whenever the game actually does end up coming out. And that is a high possibility. That's exactly what's happened with a lot of games that have come out over the past couple of years, and why they simply haven't done well, even though they have the potential to do fantastic things. So, will Modern Warfare 2 Remastered be released on April 30th? I highly doubt it, but there's always that possibility. You know, I'm never going to write it off and say that it's not. I'll tell you one thing, if it did, there goes my summer. You know, there it is. That's what we're doing. When someone says, "Hey Sam, what are you doing this summer?" Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. What else am I supposed to do? That's what I did the summer of 2010. Why wouldn't I do it now? Anyways, moving along. Great article there. Good news stories. Battlefront 2 update restores microtransactions, changes progression. EA announces plans to bring back microtransactions. Just what everybody wants. And this story is coming to us from GameSpot. Eddie McCuck, I believe we cover him a good bit. And man, he was writing this on March 18th at 4:36 a.m. My dude, going hard. I hope you are somewhere around the world, my friend, because to write something at 4:36 a.m., this is probably going to have a ton of typos, because I know I would have some. I'm just kidding. Eddie's probably on top of it. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was heavily criticized for the way it allowed players to pay real money to get loot boxes that could contain items that actually affected gameplay. Some cried out that this represented a pay-to-win situation. It was a lot of bad press for EA. In response to this, EA removed microtransactions from the game completely just before its public launch, with the developer saying it needed more time to adjust them before bringing them back. Today, EA confirmed the microtransactions are coming back in April, though this time around you'll only be able to purchase cosmetic items, that is, those that do not affect gameplay. Previously, EA let you pay for an opportunity to get items that gave you a theoretical advantage, such as improved grenades or shields. Before microtransactions return, however, EA is launching an update on March 21st that significantly changes how progression works. Presently, star cards and other items that impact gameplay can be acquired in loot boxes called crates in Battlefront 2 that you can unlock through normal gameplay progression, but with the new update, the only way to get star cards is through standard progression. If you earn enough experience points to gain a level for that unit, you'll receive one skill point that can be used to unlock or upgrade. Why am I reading? I feel like I'm reading the manual of like Monopoly or something. Rasm in the chat says it's also pretty neat with remastered games. Take Crash Bandicoot. Pretty great with remastered games, rather. Take Crash Bandicoot. If you don't have the original already, you can play the classic game with brand new graphics. Exactly. And that's even applicable to newer games like Modern Warfare, like Modern Warfare 2, and especially a game that stands out in my mind is something like the Uncharted Collection, because those games aged well, but they look a whole lot better on the PlayStation 4 than obviously they did on the PlayStation 3, especially in those areas of the game with dense foliage and bushes and stuff like that. It just runs so incredibly well on the PlayStation 4 that to have them not remastered, they would have been lost to history, so to speak, you know, quote unquote. And so to see them, you know, improved by the whole remaster system is something that I would love to see. And Modern Warfare 2 is certainly, you know, able to be doing that. But essentially with the Battlefront 2 situation, everything is going to be cosmetic now. They're changing the way the game is balanced, etc., etc. So, essentially, this is what the fans were wanting, though I feel like the game still isn't going to be coming back anytime soon. I can't imagine this game coming back from the abyss that it has dug itself. It just simply is done for Star Wars Battlefront. It can't do anything else because it has left such a sour taste in gamers' mouths. Obviously, whenever the game launched back last year, there was such a controversy around it that people were boycotting the game. I believe that it was one of the worst, some of the worst sales numbers in history, especially in the year. You know, in the entire year, this was one of the ones that was supposed to be a standout hit, and it just completely and totally tanked. It was not there. You know, it was bad for the game overall. And so to see them making changes is certainly welcome. You know, I'm glad that they're taking out those unfair microtransactions, but if this game was going to have any chance of coming back, they really should have taken out every bit of microtransactions and just given everybody the entire game for free. That would have been a fantastic move, because that would have shown true remorse for what happened, you know, true sorrow for the fact that well, sorrow is a strong word. They're not over there weeping at EA or anything, but it would have been fantastic to see them actually make an effort to show how remorseful they were about the choices that they made. So will this actually bring back the game? No. No. But cosmetic items, hey, you can buy those now, or through in-game purchases via loot boxes. It's cool that they're taking up the star cards. It's pretty cool that they're taking out all the grenade bonuses and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes for Star Wars Battlefront 2. But I would say that what's going to happen is that this series is going to be put on ice for a bit, because from now on, at least it is in my mind, Battlefront is always going to be synonymous with that time that they tried to, steal a ton of money from people via loot boxes in exchange for getting better performance in the game. Rasm in the chat says, like I said in previous streams, people like less pay-to-win games. Of course. Of course. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just like how I play Slay the Spire. For those that don't watch the stream very often, or perhaps you've never checked out a stream, I've been playing a game called Slay the Spire, which is essentially a card game, similar in vein to Hearthstone, I would say. But instead of it being free to play and you buy packs like a Magic the Gathering or like a Hearthstone itself, you end up just buying the game outright. I think I paid $15 on Steam for it, 10 to $15 on Steam. It's in early access, and you have all the cards, you have everything in the game. It's not going to be one of those things where you buy packs, not yet anyways. They might add some DLC packs or something like that. But everything can be bought within the game, and I like that little, here's my money, give me the game, you can update the game, but I've given you money, so don't be charging me again, do the little Bernie Sanders thing. That's kind of the way that I like getting a game, and that's what's going to be happening. Speaking of the devil, or speaking of the God of War, that's what God of War is going to be doing whenever it comes out in April, I think. Very soon, God of War is going to be coming out. But that's how I like the games, and so this is not how it was done with Battlefront 2, which is why I didn't play it. So, again, we'll see how it goes, but that's going to be rolling out over the course of the next couple of days. Obviously, it's starting on the 21st with a patch, and then we'll see what happens from there. But keep your eye on that Battlefront action to see what exactly does end up going down. Moving along, with an update from Destructoid, Super Bomberman R Xbox One listing backs up Korean PS4 rating. This is probably a thing. Update, Konami has confirmed the news directly to Destructoid. Super Bomberman R, excuse me, hold on, cup of coffee. It's a Monday, folks. It is a Monday. Super Bomberman R will be making its way to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC in June. The latter two consoles will host a release on June 12th, with the PC release to follow a day later on the 13th. Platform-exclusive characters are in, including Ratchet, Master Chief, and Peabody. Ratchet, of course, being for PlayStation, Master Chief for Xbox, and Peabody, the little dude from Portal on the PC. No, God of War is not going with microtransactions, Rasm. No. God of War is going to completely free of microtransactions, nothing whatsoever. Will there be DLC for it? Perhaps, but no. The developer has said in a very blatant way, no microtransactions. No, that's going to be a complete and total story game. No kind of microtransactions whatsoever. Very clear with that. So this comes to us by Chris Carter with the Super Bomberman R news. And the cool little, I love the art style of these guys right here. That's fantastic. I was just talking about how odd it would be to have a Bomberman game not hit a Microsoft platform after years upon years of success on the Xbox Live Arcade, and here we are less than a week later. While Super Bomberman R was originally a Switch launch title, it seems to have had a year and change of exclusivity as... What? It seems to have had a year and change of exclusivity. Okay, as Konami has all but confirmed its existence on other platforms. As we said, it does exist on other platforms. Just recently, a Korean rating was spotted for a PS4 edition, and now there's a very official-looking listing for R on Microsoft's website, plain as day and screen-capped in case it went up early. It seems like Microsoft has it slated for June 12th, but no price is set yet. It originally went for $40. Yeah, so this is pretty much what we've got. The game is coming to the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Now, I will say that I hated this game. I got Super Bomberman whenever the game came out on the Switch. It's actually Super Bomberman R. I bought it launch day. I bought it at midnight. I went home and started playing it the next day, and this is just not a good game. There are certain elements to it that I enjoy. I like it whenever it's just like the classic Bomberman, but as far as the story goes, as far as the gameplay goes, there are cool little mechanics here and there, but overwhelmingly, I'm just not interested in it whatsoever. It doesn't do anything for me. It me deja frío, I believe is how you pronounce that in Spanish. It leaves me cold. I just am not a fan of this game. However, for those that are large fans of Super Bomberman or Bomberman in general, you may dig this one. Of course, I love the PlayStation exclusive characters, Ratchet, Master Chief, coming to Xbox, and then you've got the Portal dude coming to PC. I enjoy that very, very deeply. I enjoyed that very deeply. Yeah, no worries, Rasm in the chat. God of War is not getting microtransactions. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. So will this be $40? I believe it will be, if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and give that a quick Google, shall we? Super Bomberman R2. What? Xbox One. Let's see what we've got. Gonna go to GameSpot. Gonna read the news article, yeah. And we're gonna go and figure out how much it was. There is no price, so we're gonna assume that it's probably around $40. It's not worth that much, yeah. So that's what we've got right now with Super Bomberman R. It's coming to the Xbox One, PS4, PC. And it will be probably okay. Not that great of a game. Moving along, Sonic Mania Plus adds new characters and modes on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. It's a big day for Sonic news. Sonic Mania, last year's acclaimed entry into the Sonic series, is finally set to get a physical release. Sega has revealed Sonic Mania Plus, a physical release of the existing game that packs in some brand new content. Among the new features are 2 new playable characters, Mighty and Ray. There's also a new Encore mode and an expanded version of the 4-player competition mode where you go head-to-head with other players. This was all shared during a Sonic panel at South by Southwest and then teased on Twitter, so we don't yet know all of the details. Sonic Mania Plus will be available in a package this summer for Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. That's notable as the only physical version of the Mania with the Collector's Edition, which came with a digital copy of the game itself. This new Plus version includes holographic packaging, a 32-page art book, and a reversible cover that makes the game look like it's for the Genesis. Well, that's really cool. Yes, so that's all going to be coming in a physical format. And we'll talk about this little part of the story here in just a few moments. I believe I'm finishing off with that one, or it's somewhere around in this general vicinity. Actually, we need to drag that there. Beautiful. So, yeah, to see Sonic Mania coming back is like a second chance for the game. Obviously, it was a huge hit last year. I bought it on the Switch, and that's whenever I learned, boys and girls, that I don't like Sonic games. I don't know what it is about the platforming, but it's like a specifically difficult balance of wanting to go fast as Sonic and not being able to go fast as Sonic because platforming. Obviously, I want to explore every little nook and cranny of a platformer game. That's just kind of the way that I roll. I've always enjoyed doing that, just finding all the little hidden entrances and trying to find all of the little quirks and things of the map. I've always enjoyed that. With Sonic, I feel compelled to go very fast, collect all of the rings, things along those lines. And for me, that's just, I don't know, that doesn't do it for me. It's just, it is what it is. So I didn't really enjoy Sonic Mania that much, though I loved the art style. I loved the fact that they brought back a classic feel to the Sonic series after such a long time of doing very strange games. But I am excited to see it coming back because it's always needed a physical edition. I feel like this is a fantastic game for collectors, especially who are into this kind of game. It just made sense to me. And it was kind of shocking that the only physical version was the collector's edition that didn't actually come with the game. So to see it getting a physical edition on all of the consoles, I believe, correct? Yes, yeah, it's getting on. I would assume it's on all the consoles. Yeah, it should be coming to everything. Anyway, Sonic Mania Plus coming out this summer, which is going to be exciting. And so yeah, 32-page art book, all that good stuff, and we'll talk about this in a moment with some shoe news for those that are into getting some pumped up kicks that may or may not be Sonic branded. But yeah, it was okay. Just didn't really hit it where it counts for me. Moving along, Activision. We're going to continue with the ad blocker. Activision eyeballs the Battle Royale genre, coming to us from PC Gamer's Andy Chalk. The company is quote-unquote keenly aware of the game. Battle Royale is the big genre right now. PUBG leads the way, but Fortnite BR is coming on strong, and there are plenty of others looking to hop on the bandwagon. New projects like Darwin Project and SOS, and updates to existing games, including Paladins, Dying Light, and maybe even CSGO. And it sounds like shooter behemoth Activision may be interested in cutting a slice of that pie for itself, too. As reported on Dow Jones Newswire via Twitter, investment firm Oppenheimer has boosted its price target for Activision Blizzard shares from 70 to 87 and said that it could go even higher on the strength of upcoming mobile releases and further Overwatch League growth. But the reason that it's particularly relevant to our interest is that Activision is also quote-unquote keenly aware of the success that other publishers have had with Battle Royale games, and it's apparently making some soft noises about taking a run at it. Quotes we have from Oppenheimer: management reminded investors that the company is a faster follower. Activision has a number of avenues at its disposal as if it chooses to pursue the Battle Royale action. The Call of Duty series is an obvious choice. Overwatch might be trickier because of its relatively limited cast of characters, although 27 could be enough to get the job done, and that number would obviously continue to grow. The best choice, unless it wants to put out a whole new Battle Royale game, might be Destiny 2. Its multiplayer qualities are proven, but to be blunt, it's not like it's setting the world on fire as is. Destiny 2 Battle Royale might just be what's needed to turn that ship around. Now, I'm going to be honest, I didn't read this article before I clicked on it, and let me tell you, this gets me going. Razm in the chat says, Unleashed and Generations are pretty good Sonic games in my opinion. Of course, there's some speed bumps, cough, Sonic 06, cough. Let me tell you, Unleashed is good. Unleashed was an underrated Sonic game, I would say. But with this news about Activision potentially wanting to do a Battle Royale game, if it came to Destiny 2, I would buy Destiny 2. I would be buying Destiny 2 in a heartbeat. And probably on the PC, to be honest. But Destiny was one of those games where I was excited about it whenever it was coming out, and it just kind of didn't do what a lot of people wanted it to do, which is continue the trend that the original Destiny brought. There were a lot of missteps as far as the DLC goes, as far as microtransactions go. Within Destiny 2, obviously game balance and the story itself was underwhelming to the majority of the hardcore fan base, and so that was pretty much what did it in from the get-go. But to see it kind of having a chance to come back in the form of a Destiny 2 Battle Royale, would it work? I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like Activision could probably make it work. I feel like the best fit for a BR game is obviously going to be Call of Duty Battle Royale. It just sounds like it works. Obviously, whenever you take something with the success of, say, the first-person PUBG mode, that just screams Call of Duty, and I feel like that's exactly what Activision is eyeing because it works so well, and I feel like it would probably work even better with the engine that Call of Duty has going. I mean, imagine the fast pace of something like Call of Duty mixed in with Battle Royale. I feel like they would probably go for a smaller Fortnite size map, but more so PUBG kind of controls and mechanics. PUBG's a little bit slow as compared to Call of Duty, I would say, but it's cool to see them actually working on something along those lines, and I would love to see it actually happen. And I would say that we probably are, because there's only so far that they can ride this train. There's only so far that they can go when it comes to making a Battle Royale game, because there are so many people that are fed up with Battle Royale. There's so many people that are getting sick of this game. I mean, we have it on mobile right here, top right. Fortnite's mobile port works better on my tiny outdated phone than it has any right to. I mean, it's fantastic, you know. It's available all the way back on the iPhone 6 SE, I believe, or the iPhone SE. So long ago that phone came out. But to see Activision eyeing it, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Will we get a Call of Duty Battle Royale mobile in a year and a half? We very well could, ladies and gents. We very well could. So we'll see how this goes. I would love to see something happen to Destiny. Anything to bring back Destiny 2 and to make it the game that it was supposed to be. But quite honestly, I just simply don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anything can bring back Destiny 2. Which is unfortunate, but it is the way that it is. That's the shot that was shot. That is the way things went down, and it's simply unfortunate. Moving along to another story from IGN's partner content by South by Southwest. Don't know who wrote this. That's fantastic. I suppose it was a press release, but this is going to be kind of a general discussion around South by Southwest. It was a god-awful award show. It was terrible. I'm not even gonna lie. I believe this was on ooh, look at that monitor, though. Look at that monitor. All right. Dang. Okay. I didn't know you could do that. Look, she's got chat and stuff up here on the Twitch dashboard. She's got Overwatch on the middle, and then she's got OBS over here on the far left. What the heck? All right. I see you, lady. Get it. Look at that sweet setup. Freaking HyperX stuff. All right. Dang. I am jealous of that. That's fantastic. That's a Samsung monitor, right? I have that camera. That's a Logitech C920. I'm so sorry for audio listeners, but the results are in. Tonight's 5th annual South by Southwest Gaming Awards just wrapped up, revealing the results of over 500,000 votes casted by gamers around the globe. This year's two big winners, sweeping 3 categories each, were Nintendo's bestseller, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and upstart multiplayer phenomenon, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Read on for the full scoop. We have a ton of winners and stuff, but let me tell you, this game... this award show was nothing compared to something like the Game Awards. This was nothing compared to something like any kind of award show that you see towards the end of the year. I don't even know what this was. It was very strange, but there were some games that won, so let's go ahead and give it the rundown. Excellence in visual achievement went to Horizon Zero Dawn. Excellence in technical achievement went to Nier Automata, which is a game that I bought just a couple of days ago and I'm going to be diving into on stream later on tonight and throughout the week. Excellence in SFX, Super Mario Odyssey, excellence in narrative, What Remains of Edith Finch, in multiplayer, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and musical score went to Nier Automata, gameplay, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I feel was fair. In design, we have Breath of the Wild as well. Convergence with Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's what I don't understand. Excellence in convergence, this shouldn't have won anything. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was not worthy of any award whatsoever. Though it did have some pretty sweet graphics, I'm not gonna lie. The graphics in that game were pretty fantastic. I'll give it that. Excellence in animation, Cuphead, 100% deserved. Excellence in art, 100% deserved. Most promising new IP, Zero Dawn over there from the PlayStation brand. The most fulfilling community-funded game, Night in the Woods, Matthew Crump, Cultural Innovation Award, Doki Doki Literature Club. That was a very little developer man. He was probably about, I would say like 5'2". He was really nervous, but he was a cool dude, I think. Trending Game of the Year, PUBG. Esports Game of the Year, PUBG. If you believe that PUBG is the esports game of the year, you're full of shit, good sir. VR Game of the Year, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I can get behind that. Tabletop Game of the Year, Gloomhaven. Mobile Game of the Year, Fire Emblem Heroes. And Video Game of the Year, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as I believe it was for the majority of people that pay attention to gaming. So that's pretty much what we had going on with South by Southwest. This show itself needs a lot of work, but it's something that's new. It's something that's just getting going. And there were a couple of extra surprises, like we had Manatee Commune, which did like a 30-minute music production that was okay. Alex Correa from The Attack was there with a very awkward little dialogue or monologue that he delivered up on stage with some jokes that probably weren't very well received by the audience. I'm not going to lie. It was really, really awkward to hear him struggle through that when it comes down to it. But, you know, it's another award show. It's pretty exciting for me. I love this kind of thing, and so it's always cool to see a new one coming into the mix. There's an entire VOD up on Twitch, which will be embedded in the article, which will be in the description box down below. If you're on any kind of podcast service or on YouTube, you can check that out. So yeah, that's pretty much what we had going on. Moving along to another story from GameSpot. Nintendo Switch exclusive Super Bomberman R coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. We have done that one already. Moving along, Razum in the chat says Celeste would at least get best story in my opinion. I think that it was, I'm not sure how the voting works, but I think that Celeste came out shortly after the voting cut off. So essentially, if it was released after a certain date, then it wasn't going to be eligible for any kind of award. It's kind of in the way that people that release games up until about the end of November are generally eligible for you know, awards for that specific year. I'm not exactly sure how it works with this one. It tends to vary from person to person. But our final story for the morning, it was a slow news weekend, guys, comes to us from Niche Gamer with quite the logo up here. For those audio listeners, it looks like an anime girl with a skimpy shirt on that says NG on it, and she's got some pigtails in the form of another NG. It looks like some kind of logo kind of thing. Very awkward. I suppose that is quote-unquote waifu material. Anyways, Sonic the Hedgehog Puma sneakers have been announced by Brandon Orselli, coming to us again from Niche Gamer. This is niche culture. In this column, I don't need your intro. Sega has announced a new Sonic the Hedgehog branded pair of shoes. A new pair of kicks is coming via a new partnership with shoemaker Puma. Here's a teaser at the probably expensive and super limited sneakers. This is what we've got. I want to see this. Okay. All right. Get some music, yeah. All right. Getting some gameplay in. I just want to see the shoes, man. In 2018, he's hitting top speed, and so is his style. And they're literally pixel art shoes. Oh wait, that was a teaser? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. That was a little teaser. I thought they were literally pixel shoes. Well, this isn't nearly as cool as I thought it was. I'm sorry, guys. No, I'm just kidding. So with these Puma shoes, we don't know exactly what they look like. But that was the teaser. While details are scant, a release is set for sometime this June. The latest classic entry in the series, Sonic Mania, is currently available for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, as well as the Nintendo Switch. In case you missed it, you can find my review for Sonic Mania here. I absolutely love the game and recommend the game, coming to us from Brandon Orselli. Again, you know, we have some more Sonic Mania news, which is that Sonic Mania Plus is going to be coming out sometime this summer. I would say these shoes kind of line up with that release to help bolster it up and to really, you know, push it forward and to make it the best kind of game release that it can be. You can go pick up your brand new Pumas, you can go pick up your brand new Sonic Mania Plus on your PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Switch, and there you go. You can get your physical edition of the game as well as a brand new pair of kicks, because, you know, that's exactly what everybody wants in their day. And yeah, I believe that wraps it up for today's episode of Caffeinate. Again, it was a very light weekend, I would say. Hopefully there's going to be more news. I would say that the main story of today that I really did think was the most interesting for me is certainly the fact that Modern Warfare 2 may be getting a remaster at some point. That's just one of those things that I love to see, and I would actually be interested in picking that one up, especially if it is coming out in a standalone release. I don't want to do that thing where we have to wait 6 to 8 months for a game to come out of its, you know, bondage package. That was a weird way to say that, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to wait for the game to be cut free from its ties to its shitty mainline Call of Duty game. I just want Modern Warfare Remastered and Modern Warfare 2 Remastered bundled together in a Modern Warfare Remastered bundle. There you go. That's a free idea for you, Activision. You don't owe me a cent for that one. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode of Caffeinate. If you did, rate it on iTunes or any other kind of podcast service that you may be listening to. It helps me a ton. It helps get the views out there. It helps spread the word. I would love to have you do that for me if you would. If you're on YouTube, drop me a like down below. Let me know that you enjoy this. If you are on Twitch, thanks for watching this morning, especially to Razum in the chat, who has been here since the very beginning, chilling, talking about everything that we discussed. Fantastic. If you want to join us on twitch.tv/TheSamuelAdams, it's going to be live every morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when I do record this. And also for those that are listening at a pretty, you know, relatively soon after recording time period, we are going to be having a live upload of of the drop. I suppose I'm going to be dropping that into YouTube, and that will go live in just a couple of minutes here. And so I'm going to be going offline from it. We're going to come back, chill out for a couple of hours because I got to work at 10, and we will do that. But we'll talk about that in just a couple of seconds. Thanks for listening. I will talk to you guys very, very soon, and peace.